Well, hello there. I'm Kim Berry, editor of Food and Drink Business. Welcome to Play, a weekly news roundup brought to you by GS1 Australia. GS1 is your go-to for all your barcode needs. Head to gs1au.org to discover 2D barcodes. They're a game changer for food and drink businesses. In the news this week, first of all, we're going analogue. Technology has not been my friend, and while I am a visage of calm professionalism, there is a lot of internal screaming and probably some crying. But that is neither here nor there, because Australian cultivated meat business VOW has created an entire new animal. That's great, an entire new animal. And guess what? It's been created only so we can eat it. That's not, okay, I'm here for it. It's called qualia. It initially comes from the Japanese quail, and then VOW has worked its animal food technology and created this product called qualia, and it really ties in to VOW's entire ethos, which is to create different food. From when we first started to interview the founders, George Peppu and Tim Noakesmith, back in 2019, they have said, we don't want to replicate what already exists. Why not use this technology to create new foods? You may remember VOW from when they created their mammoth meatball, and they were the first to admit that, look, we're not about to start seeing mammoth meatballs on the supermarket shelf. Whew, can you imagine if they imagine the pricing crises that we'd have there? They did it to really push the conversation along about our food and our future food systems. So a very exciting day for VOW. They are going to hold a series of fine dining experiences in Singapore. And of course, tickets will be limited, but if you really want to experience something that has never existed before, this would be it. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you would have also heard that China has dropped its heavy tariffs that it had put on the Australian wine industry. Those tariffs were up to 222%. And it saw the Australian wine export industry to mainland China drop from 1.7 billion to 4 million in 12 months. So you can imagine that the news and the reaction from the industry and indeed state and federal governments this week have been happy. It's obviously going to take some time to see how this is all going to wash out, because wine is one of those things you have to go off a vintage, don't you? And so you can't just magically make wine appear. But it will be a very exciting development for the Australian wine industry that has had some pretty tough times in recent years. And also, speaking of tough times, Synlait has released its half-yearly results. And look, they weren't great, but I don't think Synlait expected them to be, nor any or many of its shareholders. It did say that it has the support of its largest shareholder, which is China-based Bright Dairy, and it has also secured a 2-month extension on a $150 million debt repayment that was due on the 28th of March. So the company is now really scrambling to ensure that it has the capital to be able to pay that debt, but also to really work on reducing its overall debt. It is talking about a strategic review of some of its operations, and Dairyworks is still on the market. Some prospective sale fell through at the end of last year, so they are still looking for a buyer for that cheese business. Suntory Oceania has announced that it's got a deal to be the sole manufacturer, distributor and seller of the functional beverage Celsius. Celsius has recently signed a similar deal with Suntory Oceania's relative, I guess, for want of a better word, in England. Don't you love me being analog? Whew, it's fast and loose. So that's very exciting, and it's expected to come onto the market probably towards the end of this year. We also can expect with Suntory Oceania for it to start production hopefully around the middle of this year from its new factory up in Ipswich in Queensland, which is by all accounts going to be an absolute world-class build, and also in terms of sustainability as well as scale. What else can I tell you? Jan Cameron, who was convicted last year of using an offshore company to hide her shareholding in Bellamy Organic, has been fined $8,000. Okay. She's also, because of that conviction, been disqualified from managing companies for the next 5 years. Now, if you don't know where we are, neither do I. But I do know something. Next month, on the 16th of May, we have our long lunch. That's for the Hive Awards. And not only is it going to celebrate the winners for our inaugural awards program, it's a chance for the industry to come together and to collaborate, just to catch up and to mingle and really celebrate the Australian food and beverage manufacturing sector. Tickets are on sale now, so head to thehiveawards.com.au and you can pick up your tickets there. Buy a table, buy two. Let's make it a party. Oh boy, I've got to bring this to an end. That'll do. All of these stories and more are on the website, foodanddrinkbusiness.com.au. Thank you, GS1 Australia, even when it's a red hot mess like today. And I'm Kim Berry, over and out.